skies, for the love wish for my birds, over and around the stars, over and around the stars, Lord of all to give me praise. This our joyful hymn of praise.
Every year, this international observance reminds us that the indigenous peoples are not merely custodians of ancient traditions, but also vital partners in building just a peaceful and a sustainable future. Our languages, customs, traditional knowledge, and harmonious relationship with nature are treasures that enrich humanity as a whole. This year, the theme, Honoring Midwives, Safeguarding Life and Well-being, beautifully recognizes those remarkable women whose skilled hands, compassionate hearts, and selfless service have welcomed generations into this world. In our indigenous societies, midwives have been long more before than birth attendants. They have been guardians of life, custodians of traditional knowledge, trusted counselors, and symbols of hope and resilience. Today we honor their invaluable contribution and reaffirm our collective responsibility to ensure that every mother and every child enjoys dignity, quality health care, and opportunity to thrive. As indigenous people, we also recognize that safeguarding life extends beyond childbirth. It includes protecting our land, preserving our dignity and identity, nurturing our cultures and languages, promoting education and healthcare, and ensuring the future generations inherit the rich legacy entrusted to us by our ancestors. We are especially honored by the gracious presence of our distinguished leaders from our seven sisters, Assam, Meghalaya, Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, and Tripura. Your participation reflects the spirit of friendship, mutual respect, and regional cooperation. Together we can strengthen our common efforts to promote inclusive development while safeguarding the unique identities and the rights of indigenous communities.
More
Our objective is not to create a wall between communities, but to build bridges. We believe that increasing human-to-human contact through cultural exchange, youth interaction, academic programs, and civil society dialogue can reduce mistrust, prevent conflict, and save lives. At the same time, harmonious coexistence must go together with securing the political, economic, social, and cultural future of indigenous people. One of our serious concerns is illegal migration and unauthorized cross-border movement, particularly in context of continuing instability in Myanmar and Bangladesh. Unregulated and unprolonged influx can place pressure on indigenous communities, gradually affect the demographic balance of the region. Ituto hosa thakise demographic itu Tripura to khotom hoise. Now these Tripurese brothers, they are only 23 to 24%. Baki to sob illegal immigrant khai he nahi tai khan ke sob economy to control kori loise. Aji hosa kobole gole North East region economy to amade amakhan indigenous manu hatte nai. Ekku bi nathaka nisina. Dui ekta olop business kori kini olop poisa hoise. Itu iman bi dhoni hua nai. Economy to itu amakhan North East region indigenous people hatote economy to anibole lagibo. Ji hole bi economy to ki nisina control koribo etu nisina hi amakhan kam koribo lagibo. Itu karone I request to the political leaders, those who are sitting here also, those who are political leaders, they have to take bold decision. Then we have to offer all the contracts, all the supplies, and all the financial related items to the indigenous youths or indigenous persons. Itu nisina korise hole hi amakhan economy to amakhan hatte ami anibo paribo nohole to naparibo. Etia ki hobo economy to sob to dusra khan hatte hi thaise. Dusra pora to jur kori to amakhan etu capture koribo naparibo. Itu we have to go এইটো কি ক'ব with cooperation with all the political and non-political persons also.
This day serves as a reminder not only of our unique heritage, but also of the ongoing struggles to uphold our rights, safeguard our land, and preserve our culture and our way of life. As we gather here today, this afternoon, on this very special occasion, my mind naturally goes back to our roots. In a Naga village, when a baby is born, it isn't just a family event. It belongs to the entire village, the whole village. It's a continuation of our story, our bloodline, and our way of life. Today, as we stand together on the International Day of the World's Indigenous People, we pause to honor the quiet guardians of that continuation of our traditional midwives. Long before paved roads brought ambulances to our hills, long before health sub-centers had lights or modern equipments, who were there in the dim room when labor began? It was our traditional midwives, armed only with steady hands, years of experience passed down from their mothers, grandmothers, and ancestors, and an unshakable calmness they carried us into this world. They did it in the dead of winter by lantern lights, burning candles, burning woods, with no exception of applause, money, or rewards. There were no rewards at that point of time. They just did it out of love and care, and that's why we are here today. To call them birth attendants misses the heart of who they really are. They are our elders, our secret keepers, and the backbone of our communities. They didn't just understand the body, they understood the soul of a mother. They knew which herb from our forest could ease the pain, which words could calm an anxious father, and how to hold a newborn so they felt safe in their first entry to this world, when they took their first breath. Their wisdom is a holistic medicine, one that ties the health of a child to the health of the mother and family, and the land and our indigenous roots.
As an indigenous native from the state of Nagaland, we are proud that the United Nations had taken recognition of the indigenous peoples across the globe. But recognition alone will not suffice. There's no doubt that the United Nations have come forward to recognize the indigenous peoples across the world, but to persevere and to preserve is our work. And on that note, I would be sharing my thoughts with all of you. Also, today's celebration is especially meaningful as we honor indigenous midwives under the theme Honoring Indigenous Midwives, Safeguarding Life and Well-being. I sincerely believe that this theme pays tribute not simply to a passed down profession, but to a sacred calling. For generations, indigenous midwives, or as corrected by my elder brother, birth attendants, stood at the threshold of life with courage, compassion, and unwavering dedication. And through their tireless service, they have guided countless mothers and newborns through one of life's most profound moments. I stand here today before you as a grandson to a midwife, who also happens to be the great aunt of the president of the Nagaland chapter, Dr. Lima Jamir, my grandmother. And so today I honor my grandmother in celebrating together this Indigenous midwives, in honoring them. And I salute all the midwives of the indigenous peoples spread across the globe together with all of you. India's northeast, as you are well aware, is a hotpot to about 220, if I'm not mistaken, ethno-linguistically diverse indigenous communities. In one of the world's richest regions of cultural diversity, every community possesses its own language, tradition, customary law, festivals, and a very unique worldview. This extraordinary diversity is not a weakness, but it is our greatest strength and a living testament to India's pluralistic heritage. Now, as we gather here today, I'm also reminded of the declaration that we have had, I'm informed, on the 9th of August 2022, under the theme, In Unity with Our Ancestors for the Rights of Our Children. This declaration once again reminds us to honor our ancestors, which is not merely about preserving and about our past, but it is more so about safeguarding the rights, the dignity, the future, the posterity of the young generation. It also calls upon all of us to strengthen the customary institutions, to preserve our indigenous languages, to protect our ancestral lands and natural resources. The land for us indigenous people is far more than an economic resource. It is the foundation of our culture, our spirituality, our identity, and our collective existence. As we started this program, we were enthralled by the students of the Disciple College with such melodious tune. We were again blessed by the indigenous song that my elders from my village have come forward to honor all of us and my family, and we are very thankful for that. We have witnessed it. In all those songs, in all those indigenous exhibition of our tradition and our culture, the story, the root starts in our land. And so it is not merely an economic resource, but it is the foundation, it is the basis of our indigeneity. As we reflect on the rights of indigenous people, it is also important to acknowledge the constitutional safeguards available in the Northeast. As I was seated with my elder brother, we were discussing, and he did remind me to announce it before all of you, that we will try our best to form an assembly committee in the Nagaland Legislative Assembly to address the indigenous rights of our people. Now, while several indigenous communities in the Northeast of India are protected under the 6th schedule, I should say for Assam. For the people of Nagaland, we enjoy the constitutional protection of Article 371A. It stands as a profound recognition of our unique history, identity, and the right to preserve our cultural heritage while participating in the nation's development. Or appropriately, may I say, in today's context, towards Viksit Bharat, or a developed India by 2047. And it is in this context that I would like to dwell upon a few more minutes, and I seek your patience to be with me in this journey. And for which I'm personally struggling to find some answers, and to which I strongly feel we ought to ponder upon. No matter how unqualified it may seem to all of you, the thoughts that I share with you, nonetheless, I will still share them with all of you. The Viksit Bharat, or Develop India by 2047, is the aspiration of 1 billion. We are already living it. It has become a subject matter of immense national interest and pride. Now the states within the Union of India are relentlessly formulating policies and strategic plans to become a participating or a contributing agency in this mission towards the national aspiration of Viksit Bharat. And we as the Northeast are very much part of this journey. And our respective state governments continues to take remarkable initiatives and efforts towards this objective. Nagaland is one of those participating, contributing states in the years to come, for which our honorable advisor and his team of colleagues, led by the most honorable Chief Minister and his Council of Ministers, are working tirelessly. And the policies and the plans for the state of Nagaland in today's context for my state is being presented in the State Assembly, and I'm a witness, and I testify before all of you that they have wonderful policies for all of us.
Safeguard their identity and protect the languages, religion, custom, and cultural heritage of Nagaland. Midwives have long been custodian of the indigenous knowledge and tradition, making the role indispensable in preserving both life and culture. I congratulate the Nagaland Indigenous People Forum for organizing this noble program and express my deepest appreciation to all the midwives of unwavering dedication, compassion, and service. May this initiative inspire greater respect, support, and recognition for those who continue to safeguard for both life and inevitable indigenous heritage. I wish the program a very successful one.
From Tripura, you know the condition about the Tripura, but I don't feel upset, and I don't feel very sorry, because strongly I believe Tripura will stand once again with its dignity, with respect. Living God will shine his face upon Tripura once again, and Tripura will stand once again. Don't worry. We need your support. We need your care. We need your everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's develop our mindset. Let's develop our lifestyles. Let's respect each and every one. Let's do love each and every one. May living God bless us in abundance. Thank you very much.
Today we are facing a lot of problems due to demographic threats, due to population threats. See, in Manipur state, I would like to give one example from the state of Manipur. 1901 to 1951, the indigenous people, Meiteis and the Nagas, our population out of the state population, Meiteis were 47% out of the population, Nagas were 27% out of the population. The other non-indigenous people were only 7%. But when 1951 came, 2011 census, when the 2011 census came in the state of Manipur, the Meiteis indigenous people came down 43%. Nagas became 27 to 23%. But those non-indigenous people, they increased from 7.5 to 15.69, 100% jump. So this is the problem today we are facing. So please take care of it. So I think this kind of, challenges will be happen in every Northeast states, And today in the state of Manipur, there are a lot of abnormal villages growing in those non-indigenous people inhabited area. And still, there are more than 970, unrecognized villages are there in the state of Manipur. And they are processing for recognition of the new villages. All these are, non-indigenous people, non-indigenous community. But we, the indigenous people of Nagas, Meiteis, our population come down less. See, when we compare the census, 1901, 1951, and 2011, Nagas becomes 27% to 23 point something. Meiteis also. But those non-indigenous people, they, increase their population from 7.5% to 15.69. So this is a great challenging for us. Therefore, I would like to request all the North Indigenous Peoples Forum and all the Northeast Indigenous Peoples, let us unite together and let us stand together, let us fight together for the indigenous people of Northeast India. Otherwise, one day we will become the minority.
We may be speaking different kind of language, maybe cultural, traditionals, but we all are one in under the banner of the NEIPF. So, let us all remember, our cultures, our dignity, identity, right? And then let us all remember that our traditional, our heritage, our diversity, our strength, and then our unity is power. So, your voice may be small when you are one, but when we are together, we have a power. So thank you so much. That's all for the Mizoram subject.
Everybody, you cannot take, the symbol of Microsoft, you cannot take the symbol of Reliance, you cannot take the symbol of any MNC in this world. And if you do so, there will be punitive actions. That means there will be punitive punishments. Now let me ask, whenever there are cultural programs are there, when we have our festivals, the multinational companies, they used to use our symbols without our permissions. Do they pay for this? In Assam, whenever the Bihu comes, the symbols of Bihu, all right, they used to, portray in the advertisement. Then in the, their all the malls, and then they attract us, and we go and we buy and we pay. But can we do the same thing? Can we use their logos on our own? No, we cannot. So if we cannot, why can you? You have to pay to the community for using our cultural logos. We haven't asked for so far. So far we haven't asked for. So the indigenous symbols, I believe we have to ask for our rights. We do not know about our rights. We only used to say a lot. We only used to ask for, our political rights, but we do not ask for these community rights so far. I believe the leaders, they should concentrate on this particular line as far as our community rights are concerned. Now I like to come to the indigeneity. Who are indigenous and how do you identify? I am wearing this particular, have been given to us. Does that mean I am indigenous? Or if a person, an indigenous person wearing, using a jeans pant and all, then high definition this mobile phone moving around, would he be indigenous? Or would he not be indigenous? So indigeneity does not come along with the mobile, along with the knowledge and all. Along with that you have to stay in a jungle. No. Indigeneity comes, how you live your life, your cultural identity, your social identity, your geographical identity. All that counts to become an indigenous person. Now, under the Constitution of India, tribes are, recognized, constitutionally given rights. The scheduled tribes are given constitutional rights, all right. But they haven't given the indigenous their indigenous rights. Why? Why? Because if you say I am indigenous, if I've given you that indigenous identity, what happened? Instead of the welfare mechanisms, you may ask for your political rights, and which they refuse to give. And this is the only reason why the indigenous identity so far has not been given, the status has not been given by the Constitution. And
So
we had appealed to all the states, all the villages to document whatsoever written or oral to be able to provide as a supplementary information to the process of documenting government policies. This was one of the key issues that was deliberated upon in the FUBAR, where all the Indigenous Peoples Forum within their resources should document anything that was oral, which was we have heard from our generations, or we have found from other documents. That was the second important declaration. The last declaration that we had was in Jokai, March last year. We had 3 declarations. The very third, which we thought was the best and the most important as far as the delegates that we had from all the states, was to request all the state counterparts, all the states, to open a separate department of Indigenous Affairs. We were very fortunate. Soon after the declaration from Jokai, the Nagaland Indigenous Peoples Forum called on the Honorable Chief Minister of Nagaland, the Honorable MPs, and many members of the Assembly. We're very lucky to have Honorable MLA, Mr. Azo Ninyu, who was here. He had moved a private bill in the House of Nagaland Assembly to open a directorate or a department of Indigenous Affairs. And one of the key issues and one of the points that we were supposed to discuss today was to call on the Honorable Speaker to give an appointment to lead by constituting a parliamentary committee to discuss about the parliamentary affairs, to discuss about the Indigenous Directorate. We are very happy that he made a public statement today. In the first most opportune time, the Nagaland Assembly would be constituting a parliamentary committee to discuss upon the deliberations of Mr. Azo Ninyu on opening the Directorate of Indigenous Affairs. I think this was one very important aspect and information that we will be carrying home today. And the second part was in our meeting today, we had a proposal to include Sikkim to be rectified in the next meeting. The Honorable Speaker was mentioning Sikkim to be a part of the Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum. In our meeting agenda today, one of the agenda was to include Sikkim, and I suppose in the later part of today's conference, all the members, all the delegates from the northeastern states, we all would be meeting to conclude and to resolve on certain issues.